Wassail, beautiful people. I'm feeling a lot better today. I think my little bug has been evacuated. So, altar number 1, which is on the 26th and 27th of October. This is in the Eclipse tunnel. It's the first altar. Now, normally it's 12 columns, but there's 2 columns with each altar, so it's 2 days. To give you a better chance to do these things, this is Eros Trine Saturn, and it's the altar of the unprocessed past somehow. And I spelled altar wrong in my illness, but actually it is about changing, so it is about altering things. So I might go through and change the spelling on some things, but I might not. So we're really looking at the fact that over these 2 days, on the first day, Eros and Saturn will apply a trining energy to each other, and then the following day they will separate. So we're going to kind of look at where it stands, those 2 energies, and then the separation. And that's really what you need to be considering, philosophizing, meditating on. So let's just open straight away. I think there are 18 degrees 35 minutes around midday GMT, Null Islandy kind of place, where they will be at their exact trine. But as I say, day 1, which is the 26th, applying energy and separating zone. Eros applying. Eros applying. Liefskade. Rad. Raid. Elvenlight. Lefruma. So there's something about, as it applies, Eros is cradling the journey of light. It's being soft. It's bringing, it's almost like going up to great-grandpa Saturn. He's a grumpy old bugger on a life support machine. And just gently trying to bring up the unprocessed past. So Saturn. Sickly Saturn, as we've now decided Saturn is. Remember, Saturn's about to get a boost. Saturn on the 8th of March next year will move into 0 degrees of Pisces, reaching the end of a long cycle that it does, but nonetheless preparing a new frequency of release. So Saturn being applied to. Saturn being applied to. Ooh, this is all such beautiful energy. Embrace the emotional bleeds. Oh, and hell. Returning light. It's almost like Saturn's sick. And Saturn's bleeding with emotions, and Eros is coming to hold Saturn's hand and to be a healer. Are these love wounds, I wonder? False love, maybe? So, applying. What is the message in this applying energy in the hospital ward? That's too many cards. What's the energy of applying? Scorpio. Severing, separating, disentangling, ruptures, which is the emotional bleed, the leche. Got one caught in my hand. Libra. There's a sense of looking back to sublimate, to go from the solid to the gas. There's something about this energy that's a massive consciousness leap. That's too many. It's about 12 cards. Oh, about 24. Come on, I need another little message about this applying energy. Interesting, Aquarius. So all big signs. Let me just go into, I just need to check with me asteroid online chart. So obviously we know that part of this energy is in Libra, and that is where Eros is, and this is where Saturn is right now. So somehow Scorpio's trying to bring about a separation, a death and a rebirth on old unprocessed past. What else? Amplifying energies. It's an uncomfortable period with the square. Yeah, it's a trine. It's being approach friendly, but it's bringing about a need to action old conflicts, to kind of approach the hot-headed Saturn and call Saturn out and just go, do you know what? You've been a grumpy old bastard for too long. There's something here that brings a kind of superior versus inferior, a fracas. So Saturn thinks it's superior. Now they're saying over Eros, because Eros over time was infantilized. Just as we've infantilized everything around our emotions. There's something in this energy. I was speaking with a friend, Michelle, this morning. Wassail, Michelle. And we were talking about how the biome is this interface between our physical and mental health and our well-being. And there's something in this energy where we can't understand the fullness of Eros. Eros began life as the fourth primordial God energy. So you kind of get the heavens, the earth, and the first energy really to play out on earth is love. And then suddenly in the Greek period, Eros has been relegated to being the daughter of Aphrodite, who is now love. And then by the Roman period, he's been infantilized entirely to become a little fat cherub baby with a bow and arrow. So there's something about remembering the truth behind who is superior and inferior. Eros is grown up enough to approach grumpy old Saturn and just remind Saturn that the true energy, the kind of superhero frequency that is Eros's truth is love. Just like that's the secret weapon of Wonder Woman. So, having a little chat with Grumpy. So I've got distill, rethinking, creating new ideas, extruding. It's almost like you've got to squeeze the very last of the emotional distortions from Saturn in this trine, because they're working together, so that you can bring about a moon in Leo energy. A moon in Leo is that kind of creative circulation. It's almost like giving, I don't know what it's called, CPR to Saturn, to bring Saturn back, to realize that Saturn's forgotten love as much as Eros has lost the power of love. It's a re-energizing of love somehow. So really you need to be, I would say, looking at elements in your life around love, how you've behaved around love, what your relationships with people that you feel are loving, in what way are they restrictive, manipulative? In what way is that Saturn energy needing to be reset to move forwards. So now let's ask, as they separate on the 27th, what's Eros's separation energy? Oh, look, it's support. Working together, Saturn, coming together, coming to some kind of understanding. Cosmic doubt, that's an energy I love to see. The great big cosmic frequency that's being offered all the time to assist us and to improve things that we doubt. This is almost like the energy of Eros supporting the doubt. There's something about the energy of Saturn that's disappointed. Disappointed in what it's tried to bring around, these kind of restrictions as a guide, and it's like Saturn has to learn that it's been guiding with a rod of iron rather than with a heart of gold. That's what I would say. And here we have Mona, Kusma, the moon, and we have Wakan. Recognize the guidance. Recognize the natural world. It's almost because Saturn's connected to the lower heart chakra, the physical world. Recognize the creatures, the plants, the flora, the fauna all around you as being in need of that CPR energy. Interesting. It's almost like as Saturn's been fading, hand in hand with the natural world. So what do we do with that? I mean, it's all very well to recognize it. What do we need to do? Got one. Take. It's retrograde. Saturn is no longer retrograding. Saturn at this point is kind of house one at the time that I've set this energy. So we need a spring clean. We need a spring clean of our... You see, it's interesting. Eros is coming across in this energy as being a kind of pre-Venus energy. It's just pure primordial love, consciousness. And Saturn is the physical world's connection to that. I don't know why I'm being told Chariklo. I think it's because she's the only other one that has body out there that has rings around it like Saturn. But I don't know what that means yet. I mean, it's the gentle enforcer of boundaries, obviously. So what do we have? The embers. Take the embers of anything. Search in these 2 days for those lost emotions, broken emotions, tired emotions from the past. Take those embers and prepare to reprogram your thoughts on them. And it comes with Ophiuchus. And Ophiuchus is the cosmic bolt from the blue. It's a kind of galactic thread of divine consciousness. So there's some kind of energy being offered here. If you can take stock, rake over your embers, it's kind of like, it is that sort of Cinderella story. You can go to the ball that is your future in some kind of way, but on your terms. What else would you like to say, please? What else would you like to say? Oh, that was a weird little jump. Conjunction. You see, that's interesting. That's an energy of acknowledging the conjunction that's coming on the 4th of November between Eros and Psyche. And that's mirrored souls. That is this energy, the Ophalagu. But at the moment, you can't have that Ophalagu because you've still got too much busy bollocks in your past that you've not dealt with. Sulfur, cardinal modality. We're in Libra. This is taking place in Libra. Moon in Gemini, which is about, it's kind of, this energy here is to reset, rethink kind of anxieties. I mean, and that's an energy that's coming up a lot, these anxieties. And then sextile. So you've got to somehow remove anxieties to create new opportunities, helpful moments, and you have to action the opportunities. You have to take these embers. That's what this is. The conjunction that you're materializing is coming up, but you can't have that sense of meeting with your great soulmate Psyche as Eros until you've raked over your past, because their story, there's lots of different stories to do with Psyche and Eros, and they're all full of kind of mistakes on both sides, while often the blame is only seen by one. And there's something in this frequency about acknowledgement of our own individual actions that caused this leche bleed. But how that leche bleed was necessary to return the light. It's almost like the room is dimly lit, so you bleed the battery to lock out the light, and then you're alone in the darkness. And in that darkness, you become the battery for your own light. It's like a torch, and the torch is always on, but you can't see it because there was mud and filth all over the light. And you've got to clean up your light so that your own internal light is shining. So, any other advice for those 2 days? Any other advice for those 2 days? Free yourself. Be untamable. It's almost your own leche emotions, your own journey, the things that you cradle yourself from, the unprocessed past, is what has been taming you. Yeah, you can say it's societal, but it's also self-imposed. Free yourself. Free yourself to roam wild in your now and your future. So this is a philosophical mission you're on. Oh, that's a lot of cards. It's half the deck. And they've fallen right on all the other cards. I'm trying to pick them up, knocking all the other cards over. You know, whatever the unintended consequences were in the past, 4 degrees of Capricorn at the moment, those are the things you allowed to restrict yourself. Moon in Libra, ease. You've got to find ease within your own soul. And you've got to find ease within your own loving hearts. And I'm saying that deliberately plural, hearts. So, that's altar of the unprocessed past. You've got to process it. You can't keep looking away from it. You've got to deal with it. You've got to finish the bleeding out. You've got to finish letting go of the emotions. You've got to hit a reset button. And then your light will return. And look, it's amazing. It's the Elven Light Collective. It's this Reframing card is coming out so much. And that is the name of the rune deck when it's published, is the Reframing Healing Oracle. Because that's what we're here to do. We're here to heal. And what's the best medicine for all healing? Love. And that's why we've got this Venus, Eros, Psyche cycle that's going on. The retelling of an old story, but from a new angle, with responsibility, acceptance of your own pathway within that journey, and setting your own footsteps in a new direction. So that's altar number 1. There'll be another 5. Wassail, beautiful people.